funny. You don't have to whisper.
Can both of you say something?
Because I hear myself loud in the...
Well, it's because it's loud for us, but it's clear.
Go.
Yes.
1, 2.
Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
1,
Just
2, 3.
Talk normal.
Louder.
I'm talking
Just
loud.
talk loud.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Is
go.
this loud enough?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Okay.
It's just to make sure it doesn't distort.
No, I don't think it
Okay, I think we're good.
We're recording. We're live.
Yeah, no, we're recording. I'm just
I
gonna...
just wanted
So we're keeping this on the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
To bed.
We're good.
Go back.
Yeah, it's camera 1, that's for me, then camera 2's...
Camera 2,
You don't see down there, but
Yeah.
that's going to be you.
That's fine.
Okay.
This is so cool. We're going to take a minute.
What are we doing? I feel
Tell
like
me,
you're
is this
sending out.
No, I'm going to be interviewing you. Is this too loud for you?
I'm used to it.
Oh, yeah, it's true. I didn't even ask that. And also, your dad's a drummer, so you understand that.
Yes, sir.
Interesting. All right, so I'm just going to... All right, so welcome to episode number 4 of Live Now with Paul Lizzi, and I have a special guest, and I'm breaking her ears. It's GIGI.
Hello.
What's your last name, GIGI?
Massive.
Aha. See, this whole time I thought you were Italian for some reason.
Really, eh?
But when I knew you from back in the day, I never really asked. I would never even spoke. We just would always see.
I appreciate that, actually.
Yeah?
I do.
Well, anyways, it's just like, and that's why. Did you ever think you would be on a video podcast or like on a podcast talking about your experience as someone who's been in the nightlife forever? Literally forever. You've seen everything, you've heard everything, you've experienced everything, you've seen the best, the worst, the weird, the funny, the wacky, the serious, like you must have a million
Well, when you put it that way.
stories. And it's like you're the OG of like the nightlife. And it's like, I think I'm the OG of something in Montreal. So I like to connect with other OG.
There you go.
I wanted to bring your experience and also inspire others to let them know like, hey, I'm still a hardworking person. I work at night. I work during the day. I got a family. What, your daughter is Mila? That's her name, Mila? You
My
have a
little
family?
doggy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, doggy. I thought it was daughter. I'm so sorry.
It's close enough.
Okay. So I thought when I read Mila, I'm like, oh, she has a daughter. I didn't know. I thought, okay, my bad. I'm so sorry.
It's good enough.
and it's like, which is actually technically more work. Dogs are more work.
100%. It's like having a 2-year-old forever.
Forever and ever.
Yeah.
So, when did you start working in the nightlife? That's my first question.
Ooh.
Was it by accident? Was
Controversial.
It just...
You know, back in
oh boy.
the 90s.
Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, the 90s. Go ahead. Shoot.
Back in the 90s,
Uh-huh.
you didn't really technically have to be 18.
I don't think you have to be 18 now.
I looked older. I mean, it's
You
fine.
don't have to be 18 now? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now it's a little bit more... everybody tries to be careful because
Right.
you don't want to be caught with
Right.
underage stuff. But
Right.
yeah, back then it was just, pool halls, starting at a pool hall.
Right.
Yeah, getting recruited to work.
And
And that's where the journey kind of started.
And you're doing because every time I see you post, it's at Bordel, it's at New City Gas, it's at Bazaar. Bazaar is New City. No, I screw them all up.
Ish, yeah.
You're like everywhere, constantly.
Yeah, I think over the years I've worked pretty much
And how do you
everywhere.
how do you do that? Like how do you, because I'm the same, when I perform it's at night.
Yeah.
So how do you get up during the day and do your thing during the day and then go out at, like, how do you find the energy for that? How do you do that? Like I want people to know that like you can do it all if you put your mind to it,
Definitely. I definitely come from a hustling background.
Right.
I also appreciate all the opportunities and the jobs and, the people who give me those jobs.
Right.
So just making sure I show up and do what I have to do. 3 hours sleep, 4 hours sleep. You get to...
Holy moly.
Yeah, you get to...
I understand, because you got to stay up till 3. I bounce by midnight. You're just still
3.
warming up at midnight.
Yeah, past 3.
It's insane.
Yeah, so definitely sleep deprived.
Right.
But, you get used to it. You make up in naps and other nights that you don't work and so on and so forth. So you you make
You make it
work.
happen.
You make it happen.
Okay, so I gotta know. What's the weirdest and craziest story out of all the years that you've been doing this bad boy? I'll give you a beat. What's the weirdest thing that you've ever came across? I'm not talking about like people trying to pick you up or like someone getting shot or just something just like which probably happened. It's possible. Everything. Or bottles being thrown across the
Definitely the fights in some of the places were a little bit intense for
like what's the one that stood out that you probably tell your
liking.
best friends over like wine saying, man, that was the craziest thing that I've ever seen? Because
I'm gonna say meeting celebrities that were extremely nice.
oh, no way.
Yeah,
Can we say the name?
Of course, why not? Andy Anderson.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, super nice.
Which club?
I was at Extremes.
Oh my
back
God.
then. Yeah.
Extremes. That's
There you go. You have that.
yeah.
Exactly.
Andy Anderson, funny. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so super sweet, super nice, super
Right.
approachable.
Right.
Came up to the bar, super respectful.
Wow.
Invited us on set.
Okay. He was shooting obviously a movie.
At the time, I think it was a movie. So again, this is like many
A
years
while
back.
ago,
My
right.
memory, my
Right.
my old brain.
Especially after COVID, everything gets deleted.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really good experience in
Interesting.
terms of meeting a celebrity. And then I had the complete opposite experience
That we
with
can't.
that one. We will not share. But
Yeah, but there are many. It's what it is, and you see, it's like things like that. When I would work with artists, a lot of them wouldn't be genuine, and because
there you go.
yeah, so I would kind of like learn from that and saying, how can I be the opposite or just
Complete
a better
opposite.
version of
Absolutely.
it? So thank you for being you, because now I'm a better me. So it's kind of like that's what I learned from my, So did that rub off on you as a like did the nightlife make you a better person?
100%. Because as a bartender, as social as it is, you're kind of lonely behind the bar and you're just observing and you're watching.
Yes, people
and
still
you're
think that you get all the
listening.
attention and everyone's trying to get your attention. Everybody wants to talk to you, but then you're saying it's lonely. See how it is? You see how that is?
It has a little bit of a two-way to it. And you observe and you're like, yeah, I don't want to be like that, or I don't want to say that, or I don't want to come up to the bar and, have this type of energy. And,
right.
So definitely it opens your eyes to good and bad and weird behavior just in general.
And it has changed you in a better way. In
1,000%.
That's insane.
1,000%.
See, because people would never think that. And you see, a lot of people were like, when I was talking about like, oh, who's your next guest? I go, GIGI. Oh my God, I know her, but why GIGI? I'm like, because she has so much experience in the real world.
A lot of years.
And her story is very interesting because you would never think these things. They think it's like a joke. Oh, I'm bartending, or I'm this, or I'm in the nightlife. Like even with me, it's like, oh, you have fun. That's not work. You're just going out, you're having fun, you're grabbing a drink, and you're playing music. But it's not
work.
That.
It's work, and you have to treat it like a job so you can also respect your environment and the people that you work for.
Right.
You do have to get the job done. You do have, to keep a certain level of professionalism. At the end of the day, obviously alcohol is involved, and sometimes things get out of hand.
Right.
And, but mind you, hopefully you're with a team that's, understanding. And, can let things go at times because it does get heated. I'm sure you've seen it.
Okay, my next question is, since you've worked at different clubs, are there clubs that you hate to work at because just the music is not your vibe? Or like, does the music dictate a good night for you? It's like, yeah, I love this club because that DJ is dope, or maybe I'm not into house that much, or I don't know, like this night is too much, or you just, did your taste in music like expand because you worked in clubs?
Luckily, my taste in music is very open.
Okay.
I like country, I like house music, I love R&B.
Dope.
I can get into pretty much anything.
And is it because of your dad?
Probably because of a musician background. You know, we were exposed to a lot of music that probably people weren't exposed to. And, old
but
school,
how did you get into drumming?
70s and 80s. It was just a hobby
Holy
or a
moly.
skill or,
But did he start...
Young, before he even had us. Oh, no.
This he's just been musically inclined from the beginning. Oh my God, okay,
Exactly. So I'm very lucky in that sense.
So it could be that his music or him being a musician,
him introducing us
right.
to different, you know, music, definitely played a role.
What kind of music did you listen to? But like when he would play music,
you know, Lionel Richie and Ray Charles and Bee Gees and this and that
right.
and all that old school stuff.
Right. And from your background, like what kind of, would it be like a lot of Arabic music too? Would it be?
Not so much, no.
Really? Interesting.
No,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
No, it's mostly English.
So you were, okay, so you had a vast...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, see, I would have never known.
Yeah.
That's, you see, we always learn something new. And by the way, learning something new, this is brought to you by MontrealDrumLessons.com. MontrealDrumLessons.com is here in Montreal, St. Leonard, which Gigi has never been to St. Leonard.
Where's the cannolis? I thought I would enter and someone would give me like a cannoli.
Everywhere. Oh my God. Yeah, no. She'd never been to St. Leo. That's another first here live, Paul Lizzi live now at MontrealDrumLessons.com, Vince DiZazzo studio. So check it out, MontrealDrumLessons.com. If no matter what age, 5, 50, 100, 200 years old, he will teach you. So yeah, okay, next question. Is this the first time you ever do something like this?
No.
Like a podcast or a video thing, or like what's your
no.
What like being in the nightlife, what has been offered to you in the sense of like things that could expand your career or opportunities that you never would have got before, because you're always like the focal center, like, oh, that person would be great as an extra in a movie, or that person would be dope if I did something that, like, what offers did you ever get? Like, this is interesting. Like, what?
Definitely interviews, magazine interviews, magazine spreads.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've had a few opportunities.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's amazing, because you see, people don't even know that there's other opportunities that come with that.
There is.
That because you're always in the limelight, and there's always creative people around you saying, I think you'd be good for this, or hey, would you want to try that? And I would assume that you were like, obviously you have to be easy and open to speak to, because these people would maybe feel intimidating, saying, I can't just go with her and say, hey, I'm the owner of a magazine. Let me ask, because that happens every day, you know. Sure. So how do you smell the BS, and how do you know the real is coming at you?
You know, it's hard. It's just it depends what
like,
I was comfortable doing, because obviously, like, girls, you know, they get approached to do a lot of sexy type stuff,
right? And you can't say that word.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, go ahead. Yeah.
But yeah, so you know, you pick and choose what you want to do,
right?
And stuff like that. How you want to represent yourself,
right?
And,
right.
You know.
And did that ever lead to other things as well, in the sense where, like, you had like a good run in a career, you know, that like. Was it something that you wanted to go into? Like, did one lead to another thing? Is it still continuing today, or is it like just one-offs, or like?
No, I've always had like a daytime, you know, career going. I worked in wholesale for a very long time.
Okay.
So you know, I always have things going on. They say don't put all your eggs in one basket. So.
And this is what that is.
Yeah.
Oh, like, you know, it's like it's.
Exactly.
Sorry, I get distracted by this shit. It's dope. But I hate to, you know what's funny? I hate to stone people with drumming, and because it's such a. You know? I could do that for 1,000.
I love it.
It's crazy.
I was expecting a more 90s R&B vibe. Because I've heard you play this before, so I'm like in my homage of being here.
Okay, let me see.
I need to listen to the old you.
Old me.
Without referring to us as old.
Right, because we're never old.
We're never old.
We're never old. I'm actually, there's a...
I hope you weren't about to say your age.
Yeah, it's like I have to find the sound. And MontrealDrumLessons.com has told me never search the sounds while you're recording live. And guess what I'm doing? I am searching the sounds live. This is very unprofessional of me. Yeah, That's a 808. What do we got here? Yeah. So those are like kind of like the beats of like R&B. You know? Yeah. Yeah, it's like some sounds we got in there. But like, yeah, so we are pretty much discovering Gigi right now. That's what we're doing right now. While I'm discovering sounds, we're discovering Gigi. Like, I am so blessed that you're here because I remember my memory was like I would go. Did you work at the Dome when it was like people won't even know what the hell the Dome is? It's a police station right now. It was.
It was started more Metropolis.
Right.
I would say Metropolis, and then went on to Jet, and then
right,
went into
Jet
Tonic.
Right.
And Jet is where probably we met, and then you were a lot of Tonic.
1234. Or was 1234?
It was 1230. It was something else before that.
Before that, what was that? You see, it's crazy. And now it's Luna, Yoka, Yolika, yeah.
Yoko Luna.
Yeah, so many. Yeah, so I remember seeing you there because I was there a couple of times.
Yeah.
And we have like friends in common. And I love that you're on because I want to let people know that there's so many other facets and people that exist in Montreal that have left a mark. You know, because people are going to see this and say, oh my God, oh my God, I love her. Oh my God. You know, like, how do you know her? How, you know, so that's what I want people to know is that a bit of my past is you've been in it too.
100%.
Even if you were
a lot of years.
A lot of years. 2 minutes worth. You were there.
It was longer than 2 minutes.
But you know what I mean? Like,
of course.
It's like and to have you on, and it's like I want people to be kind of like, oh my God, how does he know her? How did that happen? How does she? Oh my God, I didn't know this. So that's why I love that you're here today. I'm so blessed that you're here and to learn that you already were musically inclined because of your dad. You've had many different offers and different opportunities in your life.
Also breaking barriers into passing a certain age and still remaining in the clubs. I don't think I know any other girl my age that's still bartending, and I am very blessed and thankful and excited to be like one of the first that you could still do your job past a certain age if you're in the right environment with the right people who allow you to stay and you know, trust their employees and loyalty and so on.
Right.
So, you know, I didn't have to quit at 30 or even 40. So,
and the offers kept coming and coming, and like
I mean, I'm lucky enough that I get the calls.
That's amazing. You see,
it is honestly, it is amazing in that sense because it broke barriers. Like I could say I definitely the oldest bartender, but again.
So that's a good question, actually. What do you think about the new generation coming into? Hold on, I'll give you a second here. Yeah, the new generation coming in. Are they more like laissez-faire? Is it like different from like, you know, 15 years ago, 20, like, or is it the same? Do they care? Right. You don't have to keep it positive because that's what gets views, you know, but yeah, no, I'm just joking. But like, have you ever just looked back and said, hey, how did they get away with doing that? Or why are they doing a half-ass because that's just the way it is? Or because even with me, artists and stuff like that, I see people doing a lot of things like, how do they get away doing that? Like, how's that possible? But that just fades after a while, I feel, in my experience, you know. So I could imagine yours is more fluffy. It's a more fluffy lifestyle, so it's like people just do whatever.
It depends. Not only the age, but it depends how you look at it. If you're only treating it as a job,
right,
you could see where, you know, entitlement and not patient or what have you. Depends on the scenario, but for me, it was just bartending is an extension of me. I don't feel so much it's a job. I feel like get behind the bar and I'm where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to be doing, and it feels really natural, but at the same time understanding that it is a job and that you have to take it seriously.
I have a question. Are you when you go out, does everybody say hi?
Yes.
Hi?
And the shots don't stop, and the hangover is real now.
Oh my God. Real. I didn't even think about that because technically I'm kind of you more, but me, like I'm always like, hey, how are you? And do you remember their names? Like, do you feel bad? Because it's like, hi, how are you?
Yeah.
I'm good, how are you? And you don't remember.
Now it's getting worse. Like, y'all got to put your name on social media so I don't be calling you whatever your IG name is.
So every time you go out, you're always pretty much, everyone knows who you are. You never have kind of like a quiet night out.
No,
if that makes sense.
No.
So what's your so seeing you do the nightlife, it's loud, it's rowdy, it's late. So what do you do to balance that? Yeah, I'll give you a second while I find a
wish
beautiful
I
sound.
knew.
Well, you don't have to know the answer. You don't
I wish I knew.
Yeah, and this not knowing is brought to you by MontrealDrumLessons.com. Advanced design. I wanted to, yeah, if, okay, I'm going to say something. You don't have to answer the question. Because I've known a lot of people in the nightlife that were like very, what's wrong? 8 minutes left. All right, let's go. No, I got 2 more questions, I think, in me, and then we're good. How can I put it in the form of a question? I'm trying to think of the best way. I'm looking at the camera to help me.
So to balance it all out, you know, you got to have your down days. You know, those days that you don't work.
So what do you do? Like yoga,
absolutely
nature,
nothing.
bed,
yeah,
Netflix.
I've always worked out. I've always, you know, I did it for very long. But for me, working out is not relaxing. It's just something else I have to get up and do.
Right.
So for me, it's not relaxing. So really staying home alone, you know, with your pet or just really disconnecting so you could find the energy to, you know, go out there and deal again.
This is my question. Why are you seeing anyone? Are you dating anyone? Or you don't have to answer that question. You could slap me.
I like to keep my life very private when it comes to that, because I think it is important to have some things for ourselves. But yeah, relationships are very doable when you do work in the nightlife.
I was going to ask you that question.
Definitely.
How do you do that? Because it's already difficult for me. People see me on stage. Oh, this guy has 25 girls after him. Oh, blah, blah, blah. It's like 0.1, you know? And for you, the female world is just a little bit more... You're the honey, you know, and the bees are like all around. So it's like that was my question. How do you manage, if you find someone good, do they have jealousy, or like, is there good guys out there that can actually balance your life? There is.
They have to be confident.
Right.
You know, they have to understand.
Right. So was it harder for you to meet somebody? That's, I guess, the question.
Not necessarily, because you're meeting people all the time.
Right.
It's just the right person to assess how is that going to fit into my life, and is it going to be a plus or is it going to be a minus? Are they going to be a problem? Are they going to add to, you know, the situation, or are they going to
Have you made mistakes? Thinking that, okay, this would work?
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody.
So, without going too deep, are you happy now?
Like, I am very, very happy.
Okay, she's
I am
happy.
very content. And it's not because of somebody else, but because of just where I am.
Right. And just the pieces in general, exactly.
100%.
Right,
it takes,
exactly.
it's not one thing that's going to make you happy. It's a collective.
Because I feel also, I get what you mean, but I feel the success... Even in my life, it's like if I were to perform in Australia and I'm all alone and I come back and I just tell stories, I like to share that with others, whether it be a manager, a girlfriend, or a boy, whatever, a team member. But I find the success is in sharing the story, where you can go back and say, oh, remember when I was here in 2014? They're like, yeah, I remember that.
Of course.
Because you don't keep all your friends. So it's like, it's kind of nice to see someone kind of grow with you and see the hardships, and then really see like, wow, you went from there and you're still doing it here. Like, that's what I meant by having someone where you could share your story and yet fit with you. And because I would feel it'd be hard. I think it would be hard for people that work in nightlife, especially people behind the bar, that they have this certain persona, certain people think a certain thing about them and how they are. And I'm glad to hear that you found that balance.
Yeah, it depends on the personality. It all depends on personality, how you are, what you're expecting, and you know, the people you choose to have around you. Because, you know, it's friendships, it's boyfriends, husbands, whatever.
Right, all that stuff.
So it's all that stuff. It needs to be the full circle for you to really feel content. And
dope. Well, I wanted to ask you one last question. Do we got time? MontrealDrumLessons.com. Do we got time? Okay. All right. So my last question is, let me think of my last question while I drum. Because there's so many questions, but I just want to like... Okay, I guess my last question is, when I asked you to be on the show, what did you think of right away? Like, what was your first initial reaction? You could tell me, oh no, or yeah, this is cool, or what the hell is he doing? Like, what was your, like, because I never spoke to you. I never wrote to you. I never...
No, I saw
been like
one of your
clips.
podcasts with funny enough, was someone I was sitting with at the time that I saw the podcast.
Stop that.
Yeah.
Was it Kate? Because
it's
only 2 people. Yeah. I thought you were with the other guy.
Yeah. Has there only been 2 people?
No, 3.
Okay.
And there's another 2 coming.
Yeah. So and I was like, wow, like this is really cool.
What are the odds?
What are the odds? But,
that's interesting. And you actually were hanging out with her, grabbing a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't even know that see, things you learn on the podcast. It's like that you're actually hanging out with one of the interviewees that I had on.
Yeah.
And it's like, because the whole goal was that to just bring people to the limelight, because even she had a great story. And I just want to have different walks of life. And I don't know what, I just saw you and I'm like, I think that would be good. And boom, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like,
shoot your shot.
yeah, exactly. So I think with that being said, would you like to ask me a question? You can be the interviewer. I don't know. Is there anything you'd like to know about me? I think we have like 80 seconds left.
I don't think there's anything I'd like to know, but I really love all the good vibes that you're bringing through your podcast and a lot of positivity coming through. So keep going.
I'm trying.
Keep going.
I want to be
love it. It's different. It's standing out, and
a little bit,
despite everything else, you've stayed the same.
Isn't that
you've
great?
Stayed humble. You've stayed, you know.
Listen to her. She knows what she's talking about. No, it's. I want it to be the support that was lacking.
100%, and you're definitely delivering that.
And I don't want to be the.
Very appreciated.
I'm not the star. We all are stars in this beautiful sky. So it's like everyone needs moments to say their story, you know. And if the platform doesn't exist, so I was like, okay, I'll just create it. And I'll get dope people on it, and people may or may not know them, but they'll know them right after, and it's gonna be like, oh,
I saw. You will educate.
Amen. So that's it. So with that being said, we are done. So thank you, MontrealDrumLessons.com and GIGI. I'm so happy that you came to St. Leonard for the first time in your whole life, and that's it. We are out, and that's it. We're good to go. Done. Was that good? We got 30 minutes. That was 29 minutes. 20.